Hi everyone, I'm your host today to tell you what is really happening in Sri Lanka. Then what are you waiting for? Let's jump in. Sri Lanka, predominantly a peace-loving nation, is on the verge of falling into financial insolvency due to the mismanagement of funds and grim foreign policies with its neighboring nations by politicians over the last decade. Known for its tourism-friendly policies, 10% of Sri Lanka's GDP is alone from tourism. But Sunday Easter attacks on 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels in Colombo on 21st April 2019 and recent corona pandemic heavily affected its tourism, henceforth its GDP. South Asia's juggernaut, India shares cultural, historical and political ties with Anuradhapura, presently known as Sri Lanka, through ages. Even the oldest records of Sri Lanka, namely Dipavamsha and Mahavamsha, mention Indian kings like Ashoka and his son Mahinda. Many Indian kings, especially Cholas and Pandyas, invaded Sri Lanka multiple times and established Tamil kingdom Jaffna in 13th century. Ashoka sent his son Mahinda to Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. According to 2012 census, 15.2% of its population is Tamils, out of which 11.1% are Sri Lankan Tamils and 4.1% are Indian Tamils. Even though India shares cordial relations with Sri Lanka like all other countries, it has more than one issue to discuss with. First and the most important issue is fishermen issue. Both India and Sri Lanka have been fishing in Park Bay area for centuries. Problem arose only after 1974 border agreement between two countries. In 1974 and in 76 treaties were signed to demarcate the IMBL, International Maritime Boundary Line, and ended up making two-nation bond under UN clause, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. In 1976, through exchange of letters, both parties agreed to stop fishing in each other's waters. But both parties still blame each other for entering their territorial waters for fishing. Every year, hundreds of fishermen are arrested from both sides for illegal fishing, and many of them are being killed. Next issue is Kachetivu Island, an uninhabited offshore island in the Park Strait owned by a King Ramnath of Ramanathapuram, Tamil Nadu. During British time, both countries administered it jointly. But in 1974, after several claims by Sri Lanka, India ceded it to Sri Lanka by an agreement. But people in Tamil Nadu still feels that it should belong to them because it was their traditional fishing area. Over the years, Sri Lanka drifted towards China for economic support and views her as a reliable partner. Moreover, ruling Rajapaksa family is historically known to be closer to China. As a result, Sri Lanka backed out from Colombo East Terminal Container Project at Colombo Port in February 2021, which was a tripartite partnership between India, Japan and Sri Lanka. On the other hand, India declined to renew currency swap agreement with Sri Lanka, which was agreed under SARC currency framework for 2019 and 2022. What is the current situation in Sri Lanka? No fishing due to shortage of diesel. Curfew implemented and army deployed to distribute petrol. Exams are cancelled due to shortage of paper. Sri Lankan rupee reached an all-time low of 250 Sri Lankan rupees per dollar as a result of 1.2 trillion Sri Lankan rupees printing in 2021 to deal with inflation. Look at some of the rates of commodities in Sri Lanka. Being a peace-loving nation and believing in the saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, we always wish for the best of our neighbors, even though they look down upon us with the backing of China. आखिर भाई तो है, माफ करना बनता है बस. We wish for the health and wealth of common man in Sri Lanka. What do you want me to do next? Mention it in the comment section. Bye for now. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.